Hello, welcome back. Last time I returned to my Nemesis room in Stellar Odyssey. I'm still in debug mode. Of course I am. And found that my muscle memory was largely intact, and also discovered a way to be a whole lot better at... Where is this? Here. A way to do parts of it a whole lot better. So, feeling reasonably confident about this, because this room feels only one tiny notch harder than what I just left in that other level, which was called something. Supernautica. So this feels like a pretty natural progression on top of what I was doing there. So I'm feeling okay about working on this now. Maybe it will defeat me again, but maybe the opposite will happen. That's the hope. Ah! 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 I'm not getting the jump. Right, of course. Jump gets eaten. I have to press it later. That was a persistent issue. Nope. Yep. For some reason, that specific wall bounce right there, where the pink crystal is, that's the hardest one to hit. I just have a much larger margin of error on that one than anything else in that shaft. I don't know why it is. It's just something about the fact that it follows a reverse super just makes me never know where I am. Okay, that was pretty good, except for the down dash instead of down right. Best of today so far. Does it help to run my mouth like I was doing? Let's try it again. Maybe it does. I got the down right dash, just not quite the back throw. Too fast. Man, I'm not getting that jump. My thumbs know exactly what an extended hyper feels like. The problem is, that's not the input I need to make here. So I guess I need to put all of my attention on doing an extended hyper. Extra extension is for the pause on pickup. Extended dang it! Jump, please. Someday. Jump! But you have to press later to jump. Press that early, no jump will come out. Has to be later. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna train myself. I'm going to dash with no jump on purpose. See, okay, I said that. My thumb still pressed the jump button. Alright, I'm gonna do this with no jump input until I first get control over whether the jump button is pressed. I simply want to dash without jumping. Gotta get there first, though. In all other places in this room, today I am feeling like I'm in pretty good control over my small movements. Doing like short, small button sequences accurately. It's the bigger sweeping movements that don't go so well. And I mean, I still have some conspicuous problem spots, but like that little hop and dash, I feel extremely in control for that one every time I've done it today. But that big sweeping movement there, after the reverse super, just a huge problem still. By far not the biggest problem in the room, though. Now I still pressed the jump button and still pressed it too early. Take control. There. I think I dashed forward instead of down right. But at least I managed to convince my thumb not to press the dash button. One more of those, then I'll start telling it to press it later. I just have to kill the earlier press first. Whoops. Well, I pressed late enough. I didn't kill the press, but at least it was late enough. Alright, fine. Fine. If you really, really want to press that jump button. You do need to do it to clear the room. Instead, I'll try to just direct you to do it later. Ah, but I keep failing that thing. Ugh. Dope. Alright, don't press early. Don't press early. Yeah, I didn't press early. Okay. At least that's something. Don't press early. I didn't press early. I threw the right direction, still not dashing the right way. It's a lot of inputs at once. I don't think I'm in that big of a hurry to dash, so maybe I should slow down on those inputs just a bit. But we all know how hard my fingers are to convince to do that directive. Okay. Most of those inputs are right, just not the throw. It's just so many very specific, precise things at the exact same time. There's like 3 separate things that can go wrong, and usually at least one will. I guess it's 1, the jump, followed by 2 more, the throw and the dash. Those 2 happen at the same time, the jump is earlier. But I'm still thinking about the jump when I get to the next 2. Alright, let's calibrate, just in case there's an issue here. I don't think there is. It's just the collision with everything else. Right, what I should be doing when I'm calibrating is dashing down right afterward, right? Ooh, okay. Okay, that's showing some issues. Nope. Nope. 2, 3. Whoa. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. Good enough. Okay. Oh! Oh! Some of that was right, but not enough. Okay. Well, I had control of my jump that time, at least. There we go, finally! Alright, didn't quite have enough speed, but everything else was good. Alright, it took 23 minutes to get there today? Sure did. But just like that room I just left, if I can get that average down, once it gets down to the single digits, maybe things can start happening, but I've got to get that average down. Average of 1. Hey, it's the only sample point I have. Okay, not quite. Okay, most of that was right. I actually just had a timing issue of a sort I don't usually have. Got it? Yes, I didn't jump quick enough. That might not have been my only problem. I'm just not getting enough speed. That was way less than 23 minutes after the previous time I did that. So, average going down, maybe? Or maybe I just calibrated for the day, but clearly not yet. Ah, wrong way. Going too fast. Okay, I slowed down on purpose, and that actually kind of worked, but I think I was too high. Whoa. Ooh, that's a good one. Here we go. Check it out, I'm here. And I messed up, but at least I was there. Okay? Let's do it again. Oh! Wow! Nope. Ah! I might need to test something with a speedometer. Okay, I learned this. Extended variance, visual, display speedometer. Here we go. How long does the backboost last? Oh, I'm gonna have to slow the game way down for this. it starts decaying immediately. Let's see, can I simulate something faster here? Should be able to, yes. Well... not immediately, there's like a couple of frames before it starts. No, pretty much does start decaying immediately, so... Yeah, so if I want lots of speed, I am gonna have to start dashing, like, the minimum amount of time, after I do the throw. I was wondering if I could split those inputs apart by more and have the same effect, but no, the effect is going to be different. Okay, well, information gained. What? Whoa! Okay, two weird things in a row happened there. Nope. Nope. Alright, you know what? I have an idea. Since Extended Hyper helped me so much, maybe there's another gym section I can do that would be just as useful, because, like... Yes, I absorbed the Extended Hyper knowledge now. But that's not currently being my biggest issue. Is this the correct difficulty for what I want to do here? Or is that... Oh, I think it's in here, right? Surely I did not do any back boosts in Expert. No. Okay. Alright, this one. Small speed in the opposite direction of the throw. You can use this while moving to gain an extra speed boost by briefly turning around and throwing the object behind you. This is known as back boost. To maximize your speed, press the opposite direction of the one you are moving in for as little time as possible to minimize speed loss, therefore making your error the largest it can possibly be. Here dash in the jelly back boost as late as possible just before hitting the jelly barrier. Okay. Well, you know what? Let's do this a few times, since this is a much friendlier test situation than the one I was just in. Whoops, I didn't press any button there, or release any button. Right, late as possible. Okay, yeah, so I don't have to hold up, I can just hold forward. I don't know if the, yeah, sure, I could do a crouch dash at the start to be sure I don't hit the spike and get in as high as I can. What? Alright, well, doing this a few times might help. But see, like, I should have a downright dash after this, and this situation isn't set up for that, so I'm doing it too late there. This was going better a moment ago. Okay, like, just barely makes it. How close do you get? You have, like, a quarter tile of clearance on the spike or something? Yeah, even holding up there. I don't know how soon the... Hold on, let me test something. Yeah, so up still is a thing I can hold there. I don't know how soon it starts to be effective after I first grab the thing. Okay, I want to get this to work 3 times in a row. 3 is my standard for this, apparently. 1. I started too low, but got it anyway, 2. And nothing. 1. That was no speed. You know what? I don't count that. That's not the thing I'm testing for here. 2. And nothing. Nothing. But like, this feels much more, I feel more fluent in this motion than when certainly when I first encountered this in the gym, and was horrified by it back then. The horrors have continued to this day. That's 1. That's nothing. But just because I feel more competent, apparently doesn't mean much. Well, maybe... Okay, let's pick a visual reference for when I want to do it. Ooh! So that's telling me I should do that in the level I'm in. So it's that thick line. This thick line. Okay. Do it as fast as possible and as close to the failure point as possible. It's just, this is... it's just such a mean input. Like, if I were... Okay, so, I mean, this is a technique built upon a game that was never really designed around this technique. This is more a coincidental side effect of other physics. In a situation where I was building a platform game, and choosing the moveset that is reasonable to ask the player to do, this would be firmly outside those bounds. Like, this move would be rejected by me for being far too precise to be reasonable to ask anyone to do. That was 3 times in a row. Gonna go for a 4th. And I got it, even though I started low. Go for a 5th. Okay, I got 5 times in a row. I don't count that death because it wasn't due to the problem I'm trying to improve at. Calling combined with ultras, hyper into the jelly, perform a back boost, then immediately perform an ultra. Great, yes, so this is the exact situation, except it's a light throwable instead of a heavy one. Alright, let's do this 5 times in a row. Make sure you're actually throwing left, not neutral dropping it, yes! Okay, right, so... that was a neutral drop. Right. And the dash involves a down input, making this harder to do. Okay, I mean, that did it, I just didn't do the follow-up. Okay. So for symmetry, I can try to press up left as I throw and still not actually get it. Right, okay, so I need to press the direction, then drop the grab. Right? Yes, because otherwise I throw. Okay. That's 1. And 0. I'm gonna focus on just, like, okay, I'm gonna ignore my dash input for a moment. Well, see, that's what I was doing in the first one. Like, how is that turning into a neutral? How is the down input even getting involved? Do I need to, like, reshape my thumb? Okay, let me make a trip to the surgeon, then I'll get back to you. I think the natural... I think that... Okay, so the way I'm... Yeah, the angle of this D-pad... If the pad of my thumb is on the right, and I just put down the knuckle, then I'm holding down left. So down left is the opposite of right in this D-pad layout. Okay, I'm trying a really weird, uncomfortable grip in my controller. Ooh, I hate it. But let's see if it works. Yes? Oh, gross. So I'm putting my thumb directly horizontal on the D-pad. Oh, it works! Alright. I didn't release the grab button. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Because if I put down my... Okay, so if I just roll my knuckle down in a neutral position, like, yeah. Right, down left is the opposite of right. Okay, so other idea, could I be holding upright for this? And then transition to left from there. Ooh, okay, that might be a hack that'll let me do this, right? Okay, so hold upright while in the air. Didn't work. That time it did. Okay, so it's working more often than just holding right. Okay. Trying to get used to something weird and awkward. What the? Yeah, so if I get a different up input involved... I wish I could shortcut back here more directly. But okay, so right, because I was thinking I'd try to steer toward up left to throw left. But if instead I'm steering up right as a precursor, then my knuckle, my inner knuckle is a little more naturally on left. Okay, so I've identified an issue and found a possible workaround. That is a lot to ask me to do. Wow, that worked. That's a lot to ask me to do in that one spot, but if I have something to aim towards, it actually works pretty well. But of course, the actual solution is I should go see the surgeon and reshape my thumb. Just put a little bend in it. Yes, that's obviously the solution that should happen in here rather than, like, get a controller with an angled D-pad or something. But let's do neither. I'll work with the hardware I have, both organic and mechanical, electrical. Okay, okay, see? So I did learn something useful from this. Identified a problem and identified a technique that can... Okay, I still got the down input in there, so that might still happen. But okay, I should almost just spend like an hour doing this. See, that still was the down. It's like I'm not steering up enough. I need to... So I need to actually recenter my thumb. Because I'm just... If I want upright, I'm just leaning it upward, which still has the knuckle kind of centered over the down left. And yeah, in a situation of such quick reaction, I need to be able to just make, like, one muscle input. Just make a bend in my thumb that goes from one thing to another. Now my timing's just not working out. I guess I'm doing it too late. But that was too early. Actually, why did this stop working? Well, this completely stopped working. I'm unable to throw left anymore. Okay. There, I did it. I had my inputs in the wrong order? Can I just do everything slower here? If I'm like, just generally slower about everything. Man, this is really, really, really hard to pull off. What? It was working for a minute, and then something unclicked. Okay. Has it re-clicked now? Nope. Okay, so there, for the first time, I didn't... Well, maybe not the first time, but I got a right dash instead of a down right. So yeah, it's upright to left to down right. Upright to left to down right. Upright, left, down right. The down right is the least problematic part of that. Though in the actual level, it has definitely been a problem. Okay, what's on offer in the rest of this? Remember, dash as soon as possible after throwing the jellies. I do remember this being real hard. What's the path? Show me again. So boost dash upright, okay. So... Okay, right. Woo! Okay, the downwardness shouldn't be a problem because down isn't involved here. But but this input sequencing is. Yeah, so there's two separate things going on here. There's the sequencing and there's another thing. You didn't even use that extra dash. Yeah, show off. Whoops, I didn't boost. Okay, so maybe here's my solution. I'm gonna do this gym section at the start and end of every session. And in between, whoops, extra dash. Whoops, no boost. Right, I need to not boost on the second one. That's actually hard to... I didn't boost. Right, that doesn't count. This is a failure. Close. Okay. But yeah, I need to do this beginning and end of every session. This is the session end gym backboost section. Like, I've learned the grounded ultra one was a knowledge thing. But this is an execution thing. Whoa. And I need the execution to work out. What? That's the second input. Okay, really? No, I have to throw left. I have to throw left. Don't just hold it. Nope. Nope. Too late. Not throw. Okay, right. Get your sequencing right. No, that's the wrong sequencing. Well, okay. Like that, but with this timing, that's downright is not the direction I'm after here. Like, I do it perfectly, then I try to understand what I did and repeat it, and then it just completely stops working for quite a long time. Until it comes back around. Just the curve starts high, goes low, then goes high again, hopefully. I'm not so sure about that last part. It's just weird that that happens so much. No, you have to throw left on the second one. It's just so rare that I get to the second one. It's like the synchronization between my two hands just is not quite right. In what way is it off? Left hand needs to act sooner. You know, right hand you don't... Okay, right hand needs to act later. Left sooner, right later. Okay, good. Except that I went down right instead of... Okay. That was kind of close. Left sooner, right later. Kinda. How many times in a row can I fail this? That's not the interesting question to ask. There we go. Okay. Not good enough. It's a success. I kind of want to beat the ghost, though. Probably not gonna happen. Okay, that's a success. It's 2 in a row. Oh! Nowhere even vaguely close to the ghost. Like, what are you doing that's so much better? It's like she's staying lower than I am, and that somehow helps? I guess more speed from... Okay, I am throwing the first one too early. No, Wow, I hate this technique. Again, this would be rejected if I was choosing a platform game moveset, because it is just pure hate to pull off. This is terrible. Why would you ever involve this move in any level? Just because it's there? I don't think that's a good enough reason. Like, this is what restraint is for. Okay, I got there again. That's how long it took. Nope. Total recording time is approaching an hour. It's not quite there yet. Am I gonna actually spend the last 5 minutes of that here? Maybe I should, given how this is going. Oh! That might be a success. It was. But still, I'm like 2.5 tiles lower than you are, and that's unacceptable. I want to do what you do. But apparently... Is there an actual action that's... Oh, she's blue. She's doing a right dash. Okay, that's the difference. I was actually doing something different. Right. I was saving my dash for the end. Okay, so I actually have done it 0 times. I mean, again, I can do it without that dash, and that was actually my best one yet. Making me feel like I can totally beat the ghost if I do it right. But that needs to be a right dash. So you want an upright dash and then a right dash, because of course, they have to be different. Nope, I have to boost and then right. Okay. Boost up... Boost up right... Some of that was almost right, but not enough of it. No, what the... Well, I don't even know how to do this. Why is... What am I even doing? The physics just don't work right at this speed. No, Right, never mind. That won't even help me with... I'm not entirely sure... See, that should have worked, but my dash ended too early. Do I need to start it later? That doesn't feel right. No, okay. There we go, I beat the ghost. Alright, you know what? This'll go on all night if I let it, so let's not. Alright, but I will start next time from here. If I just park myself in here and save and quit. Let's see where that brings me next time. So, start and end of every session until this problem is solved. It's gonna start here. This is what it's gonna take, I think.